Hello, 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 you wonderful Dental Nachos family. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Terry Brock, and welcome to another episode of Talking Tech Tips with Terry. Tuesday at 2. It is now 2 o'clock in the Eastern Time Zone, and we're glad to be with you today as we talk about really important things that Dr. Paul Goodman, we affectionately call him Dr. Nachos, helps us with all along about creating content. I got to tell you, he does a lot of that. If you're here on Dental Nachos in the Facebook group, you know he's doing a lot of that. And frankly, I step back and look at it and go, it's amazing how he can come up continually with good stuff. Well, I'm going to show you some of the insights that can help you that he's doing and a lot that I'm doing as well for creating content. And I think you'll be able to pick up a few ideas and merits along the way as you work with them, because that's what we're going to cover today. How you can create content, be able to do it very quickly, create content that, well, is compelling and others look at it and you go, hey, that's kind of nice. So you want to get that quality content, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to make sure that you get the kind of information you need and what you need to do with that. And matter of fact, one of the things that I want to mention is as we're talking about that here on Talking Tech Tips with Terry Tuesday at 2, we're going to share with you a real resource that you can use. It's a resource that's going to help you to get the information you need and to tap into it. So make a note of this. You might want to capture this on the screen right now. It's available for you. And you can do it to get this, create quality, compelling content quickly. I call it my 5K program. Get it? Create quality, compelling content quickly. I know my mind works that way. I'm kind of goofy. Okay, work with me on this. But anyway, if you go over to terrybrock.com/5K, you'll get it. And remember, that is a lowercase k. So it's 5 lowercase k, and you'll be able to get that information. It'll help you a lot on many different things. So as you're creating content, this is one of the best ways to really connect with people. It's a matter of giving information that is very useful and something they can use, or something that, yeah, so useful that they can use. How's that? But useful that they can find really helpful in solving their problems. Now, from a dentist point of view, that could be producing some information on dental needs. What's it like when how often do you really need to clean your teeth? How do you floss properly? How do you do these things? What are the advantages of seeing a dentist on a regular basis? Those kind of problems and those issues that you hear regularly from patients is what you want to address. I know as a person who's not a dentist myself, but I am a patient of a dentist. I live here in Orlando, Florida, and I got to tell you, my dentist, she is fabulous. Been with her and her team for several years now, and working with them. My hygienist is just superlative. Jamie is a wonderful lady who helps me. Matter of fact, helped me with some gum problems that I had a few years ago. And she said, "Okay, we're going to start coming more often." I said, "Well, what if I came in every day? You know, kind of to go to a triangulation here." She said, "That'd be a little too much, Terry." And I said, "Well, what if I came in every month? Would that be a problem?" She said, "Well, no, but you don't really need it that much." And she looked at it and analyzed it carefully and medically sound with good oral health. Came in started doing it like 3, 4 times a year to treat a particular condition I had with my gums. Took care of it like that. No problem. After a while, I was doing that and just realized, okay, this is good. We're getting the cleaning done. She was watching what I'm doing, give me some advice on how to floss right, what to do. And I'll tell you, those kind of things can really help. So what you want to do is you want to create that content that people say, okay, we like this, we can use it. It's something that's going to help us to really get ahead and to do a lot with that. So what you want to do is make sure that when you're looking at quality content, be able to see that. You want to make sure that what you're doing is very helpful. And by the way, if you are using content for getting your message out, we want to hear from you on that as well. And you can leave a message in the content. If you're watching this live on whatever platform you're getting this, let us know. We're doing this on more than just the Facebook content group. You're getting this also over on areas related to YouTube. We're doing it on Twitter, doing it on LinkedIn, and that way we can give you more information. And today is particularly a good day. I'm really looking forward to it because I wanted to be with you today. I am feeling great, although I do have to let you know I got a message yesterday. It was really weird that I'm starting to feel kind of funny. And so Gina and my fiance and I, we're both feeling just a little bit on the kind of slow side, maybe a little on the puny side, that kind of thing. And so I thought, it would be good for us to just go ahead and take one of those tests, those COVID tests. So we did that. And it came back positive for both of us, which was a shock to me. I thought, what? Because we've had the double vaccines and that. So we thought, okay, we're going to swing into action here. And I've got good people there at Florida Blue who are taking care of me and helping me out. And they connected me with the good folks over at Teladoc. And I called up, had a wonderful consultation with Dr. Boswell there. It was, I got to tell you, amazing, amazing meeting. He gave me some right things to do. He said, Terry, given your symptoms, given this and that, looking at my situation, you're going to be fine. Here's what you need to do, and told me what to do. And so that was really good. So I recommend for you, just as a reiteration, and I know most everyone listening to this already knows, have a good relationship with your providers, have systems in place before you need them. It's like they say in the wonderful Arab saying, dig your well before you're thirsty. And so I've been doing that and now doing much better. My voice is just a little bit raspy here, and I think that's probably due to a bunch of other things. But feeling great, no problems at all, and following the advice of my wonderful medical care. I've got my physician, my regular annual physical coming up in just a little bit here. I've already scheduled that months ago and got the test for lab work, matter of fact, later this week. So that's going to be good. I'm thinking that would be good. I'm probably going to check with the medical professionals there to make sure is now a good time to do that, or do I need to wait a little while? And my doctor that I talked to there at Teladoc said I should be okay in no time. So anyway, that's a part of the content. We need that content. We need it regularly. So what I've done is I put down some list here, some of the things that are available. And if you have other questions when you are going through this, if later on you're saying that, you go, oh, Terry, I had a question about it. I want you to be sure and check with me. Let me know what we can do to help you out on that and be able to put it together. Because remember, got that compelling content, create quality compelling content available for you. No charge at all for this. terrybrock.com/5K, and that's lowercase k, so you want to be in there. Well, first of all, the number one thing I want you to do is to remain curious. Always go, I wonder why. Is that the thing to do? Or is it something else? Or is it this? Or is it that? Always remain curious. Always go, I wonder about that. And I would recommend you do that consistently. And also constantly study. Constantly learn new, valuable information that is relevant to your patients or your target market, whoever that might be. The people who you are serving, find out what is available, what they need to know, and what they're looking for, the kind of things they're saying, hey, I need to know about that. And I would say you want to also remain consistent. Consistency is imperative. Not that you do something like once every quarter. That's not really good. You want to do it on a regular basis. Doing it once a month, not quite as good, because we want something there that's consistent. I would say a minimum of weekly, and preferably even more than that. Again, we're going to look back to Dr. Nachos, Paul Goodman, and what he does here at Dental Nachos, being out there consistently. Really, even on a daily basis, there's something out there. Now, a lot of it is recorded, yeah, as it should be, so that he can actually take, here's a concept, a break and relax and get away with Mrs. Nacho, marvelous Mary, who's out there, and the two moderators who are out there, his two little girls, who are just precious, and we all love them to pieces. And we want that break time to be in there also. Make sure it's there. But you want to consistently deliver your message. Make sure that the world is getting your message in a very positive way, and they're doing that in a consistent way so that as they need the information, you're there. Next, you want to read from a variety of sources. I would recommend that you get out there and look at a variety of ways that you're going to get information. That means going to the University of YouTube, find relevant content there. I love YouTube. It's a way for us to get information we need quickly and in a fun way. Now, when you're doing that, I recommend be aware that not everything on YouTube is going to be appropriate for everyone at every time. So what I like to do is I like to talk about something I learned a while back when I was taking photo reading from the folks at Learning Strategies. Really, really good people and really good information there. And they talked about something of using syntopic reading. Syntopic reading, S-Y-N-T-O-P-I-C. Syntopic reading means if you want to learn a particular subject, you get several different pieces of information on that. So if you wanted to learn about, I remember a while back, I did not know as much as I wanted to know about the War of 1812. Okay, 1812, I knew a little bit about it, wanted to learn a little bit more. So I got in touch with our local library here in Orange County, Florida, here in Orlando, and I said, okay, I want to know about this. And I've got about 5 to 10 books and some videos, some audios on that, ordered all that, it came in. And then what I did is I just went through that and I noticed, hey, there's some repetition here. But also, this little piece of information said something that I didn't see over here on that one. And this one had an opposing view than that. And this is good because then you start mixing all that together and your brain puts it together and goes, oh, okay, now we start reinforcing it. When you think about it, that's kind of how you learn to speak a language, how you learned your native language. My native language was English here in America. And I learned that, but I would hear something from this person. Then I'd hear it again from this person and then reinforced over here. And it helped to really build those connections in our brain. That's what you want to do when you're learning. Now, I call it not so much photos reading like that and photo reading, but rather syntopic learning. So they would have syntopic reading. I would extend that to syntopic learning, looking at video, looking at audio, looking at many different things that are available to you and how you can get these things on a regular basis and be able to see the kind of information that is available to you. You'll be able to benefit. Get out there and reach out for that regularly on a basis of learning what is relevant to you and to your market. Oh, and here's another one, very important. I encourage you to get your systems in place. I have to nod of the hat here to Bob Pick, who is a dentist up in the Chicagoland area. Bob, if you're watching this, hello, hope you're doing well, sir. And I know you have used a lot of different tools and consistently use those over and over. Bravo to you, and I think that's something that we can all learn from. For me, I use a regular tool here called Ecamm. I've told you about that, and as you see me going through the various little graphics and things that come in here, that's how I'm doing it. I use Ecamm. So for instance, if I go back here, this is an Ecamm scene. Notice how the graphics come in there. Here, I'll come back over there and then go over here. This is already set as a scene, and I can change that very quickly. Very easily put in new graphics, but that helps to reinforce it. Plus, when you have something that is different, it really grabs the attention of those who are learning. So that'll be important. And by the way, I mentioned this also in that course. What this is, the 5K course, shows you in a detailed step-by-step how to get your ideas, how to build your systems, how to go through that, and then ultimately how to publish that and get it out to the world and make sure that others see that on a very helpful and meaningful basis. And then also, I encourage you to do a lot of research. Do a lot of research and listen. I love the way my buddy Chris Brogan says, we need to grow bigger ears. Listen more. Listen to what people are saying. And a good way to do that, by the way, is through tools like Facebook groups. Watch what people are saying on the Facebook groups. Respond to what they're saying. Not so that you can just try to sell them something. No, not necessarily. Excuse me. What you want to do is you want to tap into the areas where they're saying, hey, I got a question about this, or I'm hurting over here, or got a big problem with this. Need to know your ideas and your advice on that. So keep looking at that, researching it. I recommend also you use articles. You've seen me do this here on Talking Tech Tips with Terry Tuesday at 2, that sometimes I'll find an article that I really like, and I can share that. I can say, oh, here's a great article I saw on such and such, or that, and then go back and forth looking at the article and then giving my comments on it. Not that you're going to plagiarize, no. You want to grab excerpts from that and then encourage people to go to that article and read it, see what it's like. Also, another great way to do it that Paul Goodman uses, I know Bob Pick has used this as well, and others, is to do interviews. I like doing interviews myself, finding people who are really knowledgeable, experts in a particular area that again is relevant to your target market. And if it's relevant to your target market and you've got an expert who can talk about that, say she's really, really knowledgeable about that, well, you give her a call and say, hey, would you like to come on my program? I'd love the people to hear your point of view on this particular topic. Bring them on. Tools like Ecamm give you the ability to do that very well. Oh, and by the way, another tool that I use often is CMAC, Camtasia for Mac. Camtasia is a great little tool that works with both Windows and the Mac side, and it gives you the ability to go in there and do some editing. So that if there's an oh whoops, or you want to add some extra pizzazz, Camtasia for Mac, Camtasia for Windows, also very good tools. And there are many other tools out there also. But I would recommend you get one that works for you and find something that you can use on a regular basis. And also make sure you give your feedback, your ideas of what you think. It's nice to say, oh, here's an article that was in this magazine or on that website. That's good, but we'd like to hear your perspective on it as well. Give us your unique point of view when you're creating that content and get feedback. That's one of the things I love and I really appreciate for those of you that are watching this, that are joining us here on this. Thank you for your comments and your feedback so that we can then create new material in the future that's right in line with what you're looking for as well. And then also, I want you to make here's a very important point, and my final point on this. Make sure you have a good collection place. A place so that as you get an idea, you go, oh, that would be a good idea for this. You have a place you can put it. There are many tools that work for that. There's Evernote is a very good tool. There's many Notation, I think, is another one that a lot of people use. I use Google Docs. I find Google Docs works really well for me. That is easy to share with others so that I can say, hey, here's an idea. What do you think about this? And I give it to them. Let people see what that's like. So a lot of good things that are out there, and I'd love to get your feedback on what you think on all of this. So as we work with it, you get a chance to express your point of view and what you think on content creation as well. And by the way, if you need some extra help, one of the things Dr. Paul wanted me to make sure we do is to let people know we've got 20 with Terry, where you can get some help you need on a one-to-one basis, helping you or maybe you and your team. There's no charge for this, just 20 minutes where you take about 10 minutes, express the needs that you have, and then I'll give you my feedback and let you see, okay, here's what we can do to help you out. And if it's appropriate, continue that on with some consulting or coaching that I do, and we can talk about what would be part of that, how that would be involved, and give you some help that you need. So it's in a practical, real-world way, helping you out on that. So a lot of good stuff is available there for you, and I encourage you to continue to look at how you can create more content that is really compelling. Don't forget, you want to look at the way to do that here. Matter of fact, I'm just going to jump back to this right here on my eCam and let you see that again. There it is again. Go to terrybrock.com/5K, and the K is lowercase. So you want to make sure you tap on that lower K and create quality, compelling content quickly. That is the key right there. There's another K sound, the key. So that will be important. Keep in mind, in closing, that creating that content is a wonderful way to open your door to let people know, hey, you can help them out. You can be there to assist them in a very practical, real-world way. Create the content that is going to work for you, and I'll look forward to hearing how you're doing that and what you're doing. And if you have comments or questions, we're standing by here to help you out. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me for yet another episode of Creating Quality Content with Terry here on Tuesdays.